My name is Cecilia Lee, and I am the principal of Alumni Relations for Communities and Schools. I want you to introduce yourself and share a little bit about your journey from high school graduation to where you are today. So we're going to start with Angela Wilborn.
Good morning, good morning. As she said, I am Angela Wilborn. I'm the communications specialist and alumni of Central Texas. So that's Austin, just let you know. The journey I took was I did something like Jerome. I was like listening to him and it like really filled me. I went to culinary school. I became a chef. I decided I wanted to be a personal chef. I wanted to make money. That's how I saw success. So I did that for many years. Then I decided I need a food service management degree. Did that and was like, you know what, now I need something else. Let me get in entertainment management, media relations, event planning. And so then I did that. And what brought me here is that I was making this money. I was first graduate in my family and I wasn't filled. Something was missing. And so in 2017, I got back with CIS and they started filling into me what I was putting out. And I got mentors and they started letting me do these speaking engagements, being in the room, showing my voice, hearing my story, seeing how powerful this work does. And so when they started a fellowship, I just did my pros and cons. Cons being, I'm gonna lose this money. But the cons did not outweigh all the pros that I get for waking up every day and putting back into CIS. So that's kind of my journey to how I got here is I kind of did like Drone, I did something, I measured success a different way, and then I saw that success meant for me to wake up every day and smile and be fulfilled and be around a family, no matter where they're from. I get someone to CIS and I'm like, hey sis. And so now I define success a little differently, and that's what brought me here.
Thank you, Angela.
Awesome. Hello. Can you hear me? Wonderful. Yes, I'm Hector Ramirez. I'm from Communities and Schools of South Central Texas. I graduated high school in 2020, so it's been a very busy 3 years. Yay, so I'll walk through that. In 2020, I got involved with my affiliate's alumni program. There, they served me and they kind of facilitated a life boot camp for me, which helped me like learn life goals. And it was really the first time I ever was involved in a loving, affirming community, which also pushed me to excel in life. And because of that, I decided to go to university. Come 2021, I ended up working that same boot camp for the next generation of students. I also got to work with my affiliate's human resources team, so that was wonderful. Come 2022, I got a job with another nonprofit, a smaller one, the Help Us Grow reading program. I was the first member of their HR staff, so I literally wrote the handbook on what it means to recruit, to interview, to onboard, and to train the next generation of interns within that organization. I held that position for a year. I also went on to be the youngest graduate from the Louisiana State University's College of Human Sciences and Education. I got my bachelor's. Yes, that's a great accomplishment. I got my bachelor's in science and leadership and human resource development at the age of 20. And after that, come 2023, I got a position with Teach for America. I currently work as a pre-K teacher within San Antonio ISD. Yes. It's my first year being a teacher, and it's really, really exciting. So, a lot. Yeah. It's a lot to remember.
Thank you, Hector.
Thank you.
Shun?
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Chandria. My preferred name is Shawn Mack, and I'm from Birmingham, went to Woodlawn, and I started in the first class of interns at Jones Valley Teaching Farm in my 11th grade. I didn't know a thing about farming. I did not care to get dirty at all. But I went outside and I was like, okay, this is different. I also went to culinary school, so I was always intrigued by the process of food. I did that once I came back from Lawson. I came back as like a part-time instructor leading some after-school programming at Woodlawn High School. And then some of the higher ups saw something in me and said, hey, I think you'd be great at being an instructor. And so from then I went on to Putnam and Oliver Hayes, and now I'm in high schools leading our programming. So this is pretty much like my story, kind of been up and through.
Thank you, Shun. Cedric?
And my name is Cedric. Can you hear me? Okay. I was also a high school intern 2017. I went through the program. I took a little gap year after I graduated. I went to a grocery store and I was an assistant produce manager at 18 years old, just from the skills that I learned at Jones Valley. And I'm not just talking, ag skills, but my people skills, communication skills, all that stuff, my leadership skills. I came back 3 days before Christmas. I texted Amanda, I'm like, I'm moving back to Birmingham. You got something for me? And at the time, like when I left, there was no grad apprenticeship. So like I was like, I'm coming back, I just need a job. I need something to do in the meantime. I had a job in like a week. I was an apprentice. I was actually working under Sean at Putnam when I first got back. She was kind of like my mentor in a way. She was kind of teaching me, getting me back in the groove. And then I went on from there, from an apprentice to the assistant farm manager at Woodline, where it all started. And then as of August 2022, I'm the full-time farm manager at the high school. So it's been pretty full circle. I'm actually working with interns. I mean, I'm looking at myself, I'm like, oh my God, 6 years ago, this was me. So it's crazy. But yeah, it's been a nice ride.
Awesome. Thank you, Cedric. So just a few questions, and I'm going to give everybody an opportunity to answer, 2 of you at a time, if that's okay. But I want to start with Cedric and Angela. This question is for the 2 of you. Can you describe a pivotal moment or decision that you believe played a role in the path that you chose to take? Start with,
We're here, your
yes,
guest.
yeah, we're family, you're our guest, absolutely.
So I say it's 2017. We run a farm stand. At the time we were selling stuff, but now it's a donation-based model. But just seeing the joy that like growing the food, just from the teachers coming out, like I'm seeing my history teacher, my math teacher coming out, buying produce from me that I'm growing and giving back giving back to the land, and then picking it and giving it to them, and just seeing how joyful they were, seeing us grow food. I think that's kind of what inspired me. And community fellowship, just seeing all of that come into play, just growing food and giving back to the community, our neighbors. I think that's what inspired me to continue doing this work.
Well, I do think I had 2. So 2017 was when we went to Leadership Town Hall, the OGs. We came back from the day, and that was the first time that they had us in the same space. They put us in the room. They decided that we mattered, and they showed us that we mattered. They flew us out, some of us our first time in LA. They said, hey, here's a little thing, go have fun, but also come grow and learn with us. We got to sit in there and be on stage. We mattered the most then, and they showed us how we showed up. And that's when a lot of us learned that we had a voice. And then we fast forward, and Central Texas decided to put on a fellowship program where they decided they were going to have jobs within the organization only for alumni. So you got to come in here, and they said, hey, not only are we going to show you matter, we're going to show you a compensation that shows that you matter, no matter your training, and we're going to give you the skills to actually succeed more than we are today. And so, I looked into that, and I had, like I said, I outweighed those pros and those cons, and I said, you know what? Not only do I want to feel like I matter, I want to have others feel like they matter. So I want to come back and give what I've received. So I think those 2 sections in life decided that, what I've always known is that I'm a giver. And so when I had the opportunity to do something that was besides being in the back of the house in the kitchen, being food service and just running shows, but actually helping that, the car turn, I decided that's when it was time for me to get in the place that fulfilled me and that gave me purpose. And we do have some people from Central Texas that have helped me grow and did those pivots. Nadia, Eric, they've watched me go from having no voice or not knowing I had a voice to being able to be on stage and say, I'm here and I matter and I'm going to be seen the way I'm seen. So those are my 2 moments.
Thank you both. So the next question is for Shun and Hector. What were some challenges you faced when you graduated from high school, and how were you able to overcome some of them? So we'll start with Shun.
I knew what it is I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to work with people, and I knew I wanted to be involved in food. And because of Jones Valley, it made that transition somewhat easy, I would say. So I was able to, become like an instructor. And at the time, I wasn't really sure what it looked like for me. I knew I wanted to work with young people, but not kids. I was like, the itty bitties, I don't know how I feel about that. But keeping an open mind allowed me to like explore like that realm, and it just made my desire for people and community much larger. So I didn't really have like a huge challenge. I was blessed enough to,
That's great. That's
get
great.
in that.
You knew. You already
I
knew.
knew.
That's awesome.
And yeah, Jones Valley was like that. It was that for me.
I love it. I love it. And you guys will get to see why in just a few minutes.
Yeah, it's great.
Awesome, wonderful. Okay, so I would say like after graduating high school, I feel like the biggest challenge that I would say even anecdotally, I hear a lot of people say, but I'll talk about my personal story, is the biggest challenge is I don't know, right? So I'm a first generation college student. And so along with that, there's like so many obstacles and like how do I navigate these forms, the application process. Outside of that, I also came from a home where there was some very extreme political ideologies being preached to me on the daily. And so growing up, I had heard that, college is not a wise decision. It's just indoctrination. And it was something that wasn't even encouraged in my household. And so being a part of communities and schools, it really gave me the confidence and the social and emotional skills to kind of navigate that process, right? And so I kind of circle back to that challenge of I don't know. And I would like to point out the fact that that is singular language. But I don't live in this singular world. I'm not alone, right? I have all of y'all. And so thank you very much. Thank you. And so to me, overcoming those obstacles is realizing that I have a whole family here to support me and to push me through that, and not being afraid to ask for help. And I hear the phrase that bravery is not the absence of fear. However, it's looking in the face of fear and choosing to face that anyway. Right? And so being with y'all has given me so much encouragement and passion and drive in life, and I'll thank y'all for that.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to shift a little bit, and this is a fun question. Did you have a mentor? And this is for the four of you. Did you have a mentor who played a crucial role in your journey? How did you find your mentor? How did you connect with them, and what guidance were they able to provide? So, Shun, I'm going to start with you.
Okay. So I consider Miss Leah Hillman over there to be a great mentor of mine. I remember I was 17, when I walked inside the office of a whole lot of people I did not know, and immediately being intrigued about what it is Leah did. I'm like, what does she do? And I'm like, I want to do what she does. And so, as I grew throughout the organization, she has always been like a key person for me, like a point person. If I had any questions about anything, she'd be like right there with me, walking me through it. So not only was she like a great mentor, she's a great teacher, and she equipped me with the skills that I need to be like where I am like right now. So it was kind of just given to me, and I clung onto it, and I trusted the process. So yeah, I'm very thankful for her.
That is my favorite phrase. Trust the process.
Trust the process.
Absolutely. Cedric?
I can't name a single person, but I will say it's just so many people along the way from high school to now that have came in my life, I feel like at the perfect time, the perfect moment, and kind of got me to where I am today. Muhammad Jallo, he's one of the, he's been in Jones Valley. He was actually the farm manager when I was an intern. He kind of inspired me. Leah, Amanda, right over there. Just seeing them, I've been knowing them since I was in high school. So growing up and changing and seeing the way that the organization has changed over time, I've learned from that as well.
Thank you. Hector?
Yeah. I will say that in my affiliate, I'm very fortunate that we have a mentorship program. So I was placed with a mentor, Morgan. If you're from South Central Texas, you know her. She's absolutely lovely. And so graduating in the pandemic, I had to navigate a lot, right? The world was completely different. There were several losses in my family. And so having the support to be placed with someone who's there to talk me through that process was something that's truly wonderful. And I will say being a part of continuing working with communities and schools, as you go on in life, life is just a learning process, right? And mentorship has never ended for me. There's so many people that I look out to in this audience that I see as role models. And I would just really commend y'all on the quality of your character and the values that you fight for. Because for me, being able to see people that are fighting for inclusiveness, equity, that's something that is completely new to me, that I didn't have like 3 years ago. And so every day, like I look in this room and I see qualities that I want to portray and that I want to take inwardly in me. And so I would just like to say that we're all mentors, right? You know, and the way we act in the world is incredibly important, and I really want to commend, you know, the values of this organization.
Thank you. Angela?
I have to say I've been blessed with 2 mentors. The first one I got when I was 6 years old. That's literally my first CIS mentor. 30 years later, we are still kicking it, hanging out. So she was that person that when my school counselor in high school told me that college was not for me because of where I lived and the color of my skin, she decided to leave work that same day and help me fill out every college application that I wanted to go to. And then later on in life, you know, we continue to learn, we continue to grow. And so I've been blessed at my affiliate, the COO right now, decided to take me in about 8 years ago and take me out of that comfort zone, started having me do public speaking, having me sit on panels, had me just showing the work of community schools and then the value of mentorship so I can get volunteers to come in, and then encouraged me to go ahead and just follow, you know, don't have the regrets. You think you want to work for us, don't have that regret, come work for us. And so she's, you know, when I first got there, I had that, where's my identity? Culinary is completely different. How I talk and how I show up at work in the back of the kitchen is not the same way I can show up at CIS. And so I had that identity of who am I as a professional. I don't think I'm a professional. And so she's been able to mentor me to say, you've been a professional, let me show you how. All the things you've learned in culinary, time management, being detail oriented, it transfers over here. And then you're taking that out and you're going to show the kids that you sat there, but now I'm here, so you can too. So I've been blessed with 2 mentors through just CIS in general, and there's some through the community, but most of my mentors have been directly given to me from CIS.
That's so great. Mentoring, if you have not tapped into it, and it's a calling that you have, I invite you to take it. I had the privilege of I have a great mentor, our former executive director of CIS of Houston, Miss Cynthia Briggs, and I mean, she really has inspired not just me, but those of us from Houston who are in the room. And really, truly, I still continue to lean on her. Sometimes I have bad days, and I know that I can pick up the phone and call her. And that's just a great, you know, when you have that support system. So I love the fact that you guys are tapping into your mentors, and you continue to. All right. So thanks to Brian. Where's Brian? He talked about our mission statement, and he talked about, our mission statement focuses on student empowerment, surrounding students with a community of support to achieve in life. So my question for Cedric is, what does achieve in life mean to you?
Like right now, I feel like I'm achieving in life. I'm happy with what I'm doing. Honestly, happiness. I feel like you can, you were speaking about, working at your law firm, and you just weren't happy. And other people on the outside are like, wow, you're successful, you're achieving, but if you're not happy on the inside, it's just like, am I really achieving? So just being happy, happiness.
Hector, what does achieve in life mean to you?
Yeah, that is the question that's been running through my head all week. And it is a question that could not come at a more timely moment for me in my life. So before I went to Birmingham, I had the privilege of visiting my family. And I was quite disheartened to hear that there's some conflict going on at the moment. My brother was telling me that he had walked out of a church service my family was attending to, and that's causing a bit of issues. And so I had listened to him, and I went back and I had listened to that service. And I'm a part of the LGBT community, and that's something that I wear with a badge of honor. And I had heard some very, very hateful things being spewed from the pulpit, and it was very hurtful for me to hear that a family member in my life that is nodding their head along and agreeing with it, and comes in quite a big contrast to the messages that I've been hearing. And so in referencing the LGBT community, I had heard phrases such as, well, I can unashamedly say that these people are unashamed of the way they behave now, and they should be. Phrases like that. Another phrase that I had heard is that he was encouraging his congregation to speak out against this at work and at school, and to set a standard of what it means to be a proper and moral person. And the phrase that he had used is he had said, it is your job to be that in the world, because when their lives fall apart, referencing people like me, as they always do, they will turn to you and they will look for guidance from you. And so for me to hear something like that, where I have people in my life that are actively praying for my downfall, and I will say that that is something that I've had to deal with my whole life. And so kind of staring what does it mean to achieve in life like red in the face, it's coming to this realization that when you have a childhood like that, there's no such thing as normalcy. And so for me, I see myself as I have two options. It's either I let that debilitate me and I cower in fear, or I push myself to excel in life, right? And so I've grown this attitude that I try to pass down to my students or the people that I work with, that nothing in life can truly negatively impact you so long as you use those bad experiences to motivate you, to excel. You learn and you grow. Thank you very much. Thank you. And so a phrase that really, really sticks with me and that I really use to motivate me is the phrase that I won't just survive, no, you will see me thrive. Yes. Thank you so much. Yeah. And so for me, like looking at this question is like, what does it mean to thrive, right? And so me, I feel at being on this stage, I feel so fortunate to not only have the opportunity to speak to you, but to look at my life and say, for me, thriving no longer is, getting a nice house and having this wonderful career and getting a lot of money. For me, thriving is helping the next generation of people like me, the next Hectors in life. And I am so inspired by the words of Reverend King that I had heard, the words of a reverend who sought to build bridges as opposed to burning them down. Because I also have a dream, that my children will not be judged by the color of their skin, their socioeconomic status, their citizenship status, nor the person that they love. They will be judged by the content of their character. And so for me, the fight for equality and educational equity it's my whole life, right? And I would just like to say that it's a fight that so long as I have CIS on my side, it's a fight that we're gonna win. And it's a good fight.
Well, I'm through now, so thank you so much. So important. This is why this work matters. And really, truly, one thing about alumni work, and I'm sure same goes for the support that you all have at Jones Valley, is we really are a family. And just so grateful, extremely grateful for putting yourselves out there, for being brave, for not being afraid to use your voice. We have to have that. We have to have this space. Some of us, you don't know what people are going through. They may be smiling and they may, but you don't know what they're dealing with internally. And that is why this work matters for all of us. So I have one last question and then we're going to end because I know you guys are ready to go to Jones Valley. But I want to ask, this is a group, we're all here together, and I want to ask, and I'm going to start with Angela and we're going to end with Shun. What can we as a community do to continue to support you?
I actually got up this morning and I took a walk, which was something different because I had jeans on and sneakers because I don't walk. But I needed a little reflection. I did get a chance to speak with another alumni during that time, so it was a great thing that I did wake up. And one of the things that I feel like we need is to continue to have space for us. It is a necessary space. I can't go back and do my work and live in the mission that we have without being filled some. And so yesterday we were able to have a circle with just the alumni and get to talk and speak and just be openly us. We didn't have to put any airs on, we got to joke and laugh, got to know the age range. I'm in the lower age range. That's my story. And so if the ending factor was, it was so important to have that space. You know, we talk about when we're on campuses, we're in the schools, we have that classroom where you have the safe place to come to be with a loving and caring adult. If we're talking about achieving in life, we need to continue to have space in the room to achieve, to grow, to learn. So to help me, it would just be able to still have these spaces every year, somewhere I can come back to and say, you know what, I've been emptied out, let me come get full again so that I can go the next year and continue to grow and to get those behind me to continue to grow with us, because, you know, the future at National looks like me. It looks like alumni. We're here to do the work. We have the fire, we have the passion, and we're here, you know, no boycotting to take some of y'all jobs. So I would say to continue to have this space for us is going to be what fulfills me, and that's what I need to stay in this mission.
And we're going to end it with Shun with the final word.
To help me would be supporting like our young people always, resources and time, and showing them that like you care, and just guiding them, you know, on like the right path. This how you can help me. Because they are our future. At some point, we're not going to be here. They're going to be in like our positions or whatnot, and that's what I'm for. It's like for them, because when I go to like my school sites, they light up when they see me. They tell me, "Oh, I want to be like you." I'm like, "No, you better than me," and I'm going to be there to help you. Like we're going to do this together, because like their success is important. Because I was good.
Thank you. Can we give all four of them a round of applause? Thank you so much.